Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I'm your host, D-Palm. Follow me on Blue Sky. Follow me on all the socials at DPalm66. Follow the show at UDPod. Follow the entire MTR Network at, you guessed it, the MTR Network. You found us. Don't you dare lose us. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts for free $99. Also, subscribe on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. We're dragging this podcast in 2015, one episode at a time. But also brought to you, as always, by DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can afford your rent, you can afford a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. But that's not why you're here today. You're here to talk about sports. You're here to talk about some things that I've said on this internet that need to be addressed. And you're here to talk about them with good friend of the show, Nata Edwards. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
So how much money is Danhausen made off of this? That's all I want to know. That's the first thing we got it. Did I step on a joke or something?
In a world full of Tony Khan fumbles, we have found King Fumble. We found King Fumble, guys. We did it. We did it, guys. We found the biggest fumble possible. Because for those who don't know, we're just going to take a quick pro wrestling detour. Thank you, Nata, for having submarine the episode 2 minutes in. No one's
it's my mutant power.
Truly. Danhausen is a wrestler in the sense of the word that's like also so is Paul Heyman technically. Yeah. Because the idea of a professional wrestler is 3 parts. It's in ring, it's personality, and it's on the mic. And Danhausen is a perfect 10 in 2 of those areas out of 10. He's so good on the mic and in his personality that the ring doesn't matter. They could never have him wrestle. It would be just fine with Danhausen as the most over thing in the world. Because we were talking about the fact that Danhausen has made so much money not taking bumps. Like, that's the dream. That's the Kevin Nash professional wrestler, ideal. It's how much money can I make without hurting myself? And Danhausen, ladies and gentlemen, has cornered the market because curses aren't real. I don't know. Maybe they are. I'm starting to believe. Nata, what does this,
sir? Like, I'm not sure they don't exist. And again, we have like the Knicks who have pratfalled throughout our entire adult lives
and childhood lives. Wait a second. There isn't a time in I'm 40 years old. I'll be 41 next month. There's not a time in my life that I thought of the Knicks as a competent organization. There was 99 when it was like, man, this is weird. It was weird. An 8 seed made the finals based on the fact that it was an injury-shortened, truncated season. Lockout-shortened season that had all the injuries because no one was training.
Yeah.
And then this. And that's it. That's the 2 times in my life this team has mattered. So, let's talk about this for a second. So, I've been on this podcast being extremely antagonistic towards Knicks fans. I want to make something very clear. However you feel about your college town,
yes.
How I feel about New York. That's my college town. It's the place and for the 4 years I was there, from 2003 to 2007, the idea of happy Knicks fan never crossed my mind. No. It never came up. It was pre-renovations, so the Garden was still a dump, and the basketball was shit.
Dude, you were there from 2003 to 2007. You're effectively telling me that there were no such thing as happy New York sports fans anywhere. The Mets were shit. The Yankees were pratfalling and had the A-Rod stuff going on. You have the
Yankees. My freshman year, the Yankees lost to the Red Sox in the ALCS, and our coaches was a young guy from Boston who was very hungover the next day of practice. Shout out Coach Mads. I just remember that story. That's 1,000% true story, and it's one of.
You're welcome. I bring up these stories again. I derail the show, but I also bring up really, really good stuff You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody.
You just got two of my friends a text message after this podcast. Like that's every time Mads was shit faced at practice because the Red Sox had won the ALCS. Fantastic, amazing stuff. But yeah, so let's talk about the game. Let's talk about what happened. Game 6. So let's just set all this up. So all the things I've been saying the last couple of weeks. It's all set up with the idea. I've never thought that a happy Knicks fan was an option.
Yeah.
I was raised in a place where people were saying things are better when the Knicks are good by people who'd never seen that shit. And I do want to say this. I am genuinely happy. Like there are people in my life who were New York natives who either went to Columbia with us, I met it while I was at Columbia, or the people who've been there since we all went to undergrad together who love this team. I had friends who made financial decisions to be in the building. And yeah. And I sent a text today to one of them. I was like, hey, man, I sent them the fabulous freestyle. And I'm just like, hey, this is going to count as a welfare check. He's like, I'm good. I was like, good. All right. Just tapping the old, hey, buddy, you still feeling it? And yeah, it's the thing I'll say about New York, and having spent 4 years there, and again, things have changed in 20 years, but some things haven't.
Yeah.
It's a city where the second I step into Manhattan, I remember how small and insignificant I am, which is super kind of freeing about being in New York.
That's the allure. That's the allure.
Other thing you notice if you're there long enough is that everyone's doing their own shit. Everyone is focused on their own thing and don't give a fuck about you unless something goes wrong or something goes right. Then the city, you see it in small ways, like if you're just there long enough, but like the city has a way of like amplifying the good. Like when people need help, they help each other. New Yorkers help each other. They'd rather you get the fuck out of the way when they're walking somewhere. But if you drop your bag, no one's going to step on your shit. Someone's going to help you. If you get lost in the subway, you ask somewhere to go, guess what? They're not going to spit on you. They're going to tell you where to go. And when things are good in that city, like that first day of like good weather after the winter, or the New York fucking Knicks win an NBA title.
Yo.
Like there are very few other places in the world that can rival that, because I heard it described best on, I think it was Bo's show. He called it, what if the entire city of Manhattan, the entire city of New York were a college town? So that's how it feels, because there's no divide. There's no Knicks. There's no Mets, Yankees. There's no Islanders, Rangers. There's just the Knicks. Nets. Don't just stop. Just don't. Have you been to Barclays?
I have been to Barclays for a couple things. It's a nice arena, but at the same point, like, it's there.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I can say. It's there.
That's very fair. Game 5, it was kind of a microcosm of the series. The Spurs came out hot, and the Knicks just slow and steady that motherfucker. And by like the middle of the second, like it felt like a script almost. You're like, oh, this game's over. Oh, we are done here. It is all about the counting now. And because these Spurs are mentally tougher than their years, they stuck around. They flirted with taking the win, but in the end, the Spurs ran out of gas and the Knicks never seemed to. What did you see? You'll stay just Game 5 quickly. Let's just kind of go over the final game, the decider, the one that brings the title to Gotham after 50 years. Nata, what did you see? Kind of, was it any different than the first 4 games? Because for me, it just felt like this is a game of runs, and it just feels like one team had a bunch of blowout wins getting there, and the other one got into some dogfights with a defending champion, and they were just never physically recovered from it.
So I do think that they were tired. I do agree with anyone that says that they were tired. But it just, there were certain things that just over like the series that you just knew was just holding them up. Right. The first one was how many of those like during the series, how many of those times did you ever see them win the Luke Cornett minutes? Like Wemby would be out for 30, 45 seconds, and the Knicks would slice into the lead, or the Knicks would take the lead. And it was funny because game 5 was like one of the few times you saw them not lose Luke Cornett minutes in the first half.
Right.
And then Mitch Johnson takes Wemby out with about 5 minutes to go, and the Spurs nursing what I think was like a 2-point lead at that time.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment I said, oh, this series is over.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to figure a way, like, I'm sorry, you have to figure out a way to nurse those minutes to where, hey, you have extra timeouts, or we're not, like, fuck it, we may not have timeouts for the last little bit, because quite literally, this is elimination. We saw a team, and I guess, like, if we're going to do this in the game 5 thing, the biggest thing I came away with is Jalen Brunson is better than I ever thought he was going to be. And Mike Brown needs a lot more flowers than he's actually getting at this point for what he's done over the series and over the season.
I'm going to take your points in order. 1, Mitch Johnson.
Yeah.
Not a great series out from the man on the bench in the Spurs. And I say this is, we watched the decision not to cover the inbounder. We saw a lot of the Wemby minutes in game 4, which, if you go back and watch the minutes in game 4, so in game 4, they're up something like 25 in the third. And going into the fourth, Wemby had played more minutes in game 3 than he had, or in game 4 than he had in game 3. And it's just like, you ended up playing him all that fourth, where you shouldn't have, if you needed to play him in that fourth, you should have not been playing him so much in the goddamn third. Like, it was very strange. I thought that there was just, and I say all that with the caveat of first-year head coach. I say that with the caveat of coaches get better as they get older, and I say that to pivot to the second person you talked about, Mike Brown. Now, what I think is super interesting about Mike Brown is I have a really good friend who's a Lakers fan, and so she has a very set in stone opinion of Mike Brown.
Yes.
Which I don't even challenge. I'm like, I understand why you say that. Everything you're saying makes perfect sense based on your lived experience with Mike Brown. However, as someone who was never that emotionally invested in his outcomes, it's been nice to see him take the lessons of his travels, of the Warriors, of the Kings, come back here and really kind of put his stamp on get handed the keys of a thing that said, hey, we're close and we think you can push us over the edge. And to not just take that challenge, but fulfill that promise in a place where it hasn't been realized in so long. Very cool story for Mike Brown, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and the Jalen Brunson thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, like, the thing about Mike Brown that I find very, very fascinating is how many black coaches do you know get third and fourth opportunities? Like, like, when we start thinking about the guys that get third and fourth opportunities, that man is a unicorn.
No,
because it's like him.
There's someone else.
There's him. There's Bernie Bickerstaff.
No,
there's someone else. There's someone else.
There's a black coach who's an enemy of this podcast, who's gotten 7th, 8th, 9th chances to not make it out of the second round.
Oh, Doc. Doc.
I love that we don't even count Doc. Like, the fact that Doc's like it's like, of course the tide came in. That's how the moon works. Like, it's just like, mwah.
Like, Doc, like, I keep forgetting about Doc, but honestly, like, Doc is his own separate category because he's got an. It's really its own separate category when you think about the finagling, the media backdealing, all the stuff that he does.
That's like the funniest thing that's ever happened on this podcast.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
You legitimately forgetting Doc Rivers as an entity, as a cosmic force. He's Galactus, devourer of jobs.
Like, again, the thing is, like Mike Brown is just in like that special set of coaches because he's the guy that you would throw, like, he's the guy, unfortunately, that's going to be the guy that's going to be like, this is why you put in all that time. This is why you take those shitty jobs. This is why you do all this stuff, because one day you might end up being Mike Brown and you may never get that opportunity. Like that's the
This
that's
is why
the
you
thing.
sit. This is why you sit a second seat in Golden State for all those years.
Yeah. Knowing that they'll never
It's
get that opportunity. Yeah.
You'll never get that job. But guess what? That experience, I'll tell you what, Mike Brown, to be able to coach a team that is straight up an ass kicker all playoffs, to then run into adversity, he's done that.
Yeah.
He's been in that room. He's been on those staffs. So, like, and I love that his experience versus Mitch Johnson's is also kind of the dichotomy of these teams. Because, yes, the Spurs proved that maybe experience is over-indexed in the playoffs because you can gain so much, partially because of, again, I when we were kids, old man in the sea, the first round was 5 games.
Yes.
Making the first round 7 games, you learn more about yourself and your team in these series, even dropping one of the Portland Trailblazers in round 1. Ended up dropping 2 to the Timberwolves, dropping 3 to the Thunder. You kind of watch the Spurs kind of grew up quickly, but they grew up in the series of series.
Yes.
The Knicks did it the old way. The Knicks were second round and out. Last year, they make their first conference final. They took a hard look at themselves. They go to the most incestuous front office in the world and say, Tom Thibodeau is not the right guy for this. We need someone else. We need a steady hand. We need someone who can bring an experience. Because say what you want about Tibbs and should have fired him, not fired him. Tibbs has never been on a staff that won a title. Is that true? He's on the Boston staff.
No, he's on the 08 Boston. He was on 08
Boston.
The
08 Boston staff. I take that back. That's a different time period. He has not won a title under the current paradigm of NBA basketball. And Mike Brown was part of the staff that helped change the paradigm.
Yeah.
And so to watch him navigate this, and I think that, like, for me, that's the most impressive part of, like, the X's and O's stuff. I think is actually very impressive. Trusting Alvarado and Brunson minutes together in Game 4, who never played a single second together all season, and freeing up Brunson to be the off-the-ball guy because you had another trusted ball handler, really actually pointed to some of the successes the Spurs had against the Thunder when they lost their 2 extra ball handlers, were forced to rely on Shea. You tell me that they were able to shut down Shea, they couldn't shut down Jalen? No, it's that Shea was limited because he did not have the additional ball handlers that Jalen did, who were trusted down the stretch. Speaking of trusted down the stretch, Mikal Bridges, milk carton boy. Milk carton, this motherfucker. Oh my God.
He did have that one game. He did have that one game.
And then,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But let's talk about it. Y'all, Becky Hammond was right. I want y'all to know that. Based on the historical model of this here association, Becky Hammond was right as fuck. Y'all are salty. A lot of it's just misogyny disguises quote-unquote expertise. You want this woman to apologize for speaking in your space. Well, guess what, Becky Hammond? We know you were right. But guess what? It doesn't matter because that's who they are. However, her being right makes this accomplishment even more impressive in my opinion.
Yo, for real.
Like the Jalen Brunson of it all, like there's a lot that I have questions about. The quote unquote pay cut he took, which I, as a union guy, I told, what's my one, like Tom Brady, great football player, terrible union man. Terrible union man. Your job is to elevate the pay for your union members. The job is not to help your enemy, i.e. the owners. That's just full disclosure there. But he did the thing. He came through, clutcher than clutch. 45 points in 41 minutes to close out the series. Nata, this is the guy who was the other guy. This is the guy who was when Luka's down, they got someone who can kind of keep the boat afloat. This is kind of the one that we thought, not we, like kind of the global. We don't know what your opinion was at the time, but we didn't see this as a generationally definitive move. And I want to ask you now, is this kind of a statement that Jalen Brunson is now a forever ensconced in the upper echelon of guard play historically, or is this a product of a NBA where you get hot, you make a run, and that's kind of 9 champs in 9 years?
I want to say it's a little bit of both.
Fair enough.
Because I do think I wouldn't call him a top 75 guy. You got to do a little bit more.
Current or historical?
Historical.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Historical.
I was damn.
No.
I was like, shit.
He is absolutely
Meaner than
a
me.
top. No. He's a top 75 historical guy. He's not a top 75 historical guy. He's still got to do a lot.
4 years in New York, he's on a trajectory.
He's on a trajectory, and I would say he's probably scratching on the outside because winning a title for New York under James Dolan is probably one of the biggest difficulty multipliers that you can have as that ring might be worth 2 elsewhere. So we'll start there. At the same time, like, he might be the one guy that, like, everyone wants to talk about the Kobe system and Jason Tatum and everything else like that. The closest descendant to Kobe might be Jalen Brunson. And we're talking about a 5'11" guy that has mastered the footwork, has mastered his craft to where he knows how to get to his spots. He knows how to draw fouls. He doesn't do the insurance fraud that we like to call that Trae Young does. He's not the insurance fraud agent. Sir, you don't have to root for him anymore. You do not have.
I enjoyed my trading experience. If Trae Young was an Uber, that's 5 stars, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, y'all can hate if you want to, but like, we're going to title with him. And I'm here to have fun. I'm a Hawks fan. What the fuck are you talking about titles? I'm here to have a good fucking time.
Sir, the Knicks won. Anything is possible.
And watching Trae Young stab the Knicks in the throat was among the most fun I've had watching basketball in my lifetime. No one can take that from me. Not you, not Time, not James Dolan, not Jalen Brunson, not his daddy who's on staff. No one. No one. Don't ask questions.
That's fair. That's fair. But
or his ex-agent who's the GM. Don't ask questions.
That's true.
A lot of stuff. A lot of questions. If one were to ask questions about some of the things how we got here Knicks-wise, that'd be a place to start asking them about, like, salary cap circumvention and things of that nature. But I digress. Continue.
That's exactly why, like, Adam Silver's trying to negotiate that punishment away for Mr. with Ballmer and all that, because
every time he sees Pablo Torre's name, the fuck that he must utter must be, oh man, I giggle before I click. I'm like, oh man, you just ruined Adam Silver's day. I don't have a problem with Silver. I think Silver's pretty good at his job. I just think it's comical that this man, who I don't know if they've ever met, I do know that every time he sees Pablo Torre's name, I do know Adam Silver's got a Google alert. I guarantee he does.
Of course. That man is on NBA Twitter and has admitted to such to reporters. That man has absolutely got a Google search. And if not, he's probably got tweet alerts on Pablo Torre for his burner account. So I know he knows.
It just plays the Omar gif every time he posts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Like, that's the thing. Like, but back to Brunson, it's just he is, dare I say, unquantifiable, because I don't know how you place a guy that, because I can't call him the best player in the world. I can't do that. But is he top 5? Absolutely. But at the same point, like, how much credit do I give to Karl Anthony Towns, who for 3 rounds was their best player? Mm-hmm. And how much credit do I give to those wings like OG Anunoby, who had a massive game 4 and allowed and set the stage for Brunson in game 4 to win that? Like, how much credit do I give?
This is going to feel like an insult, and I promise you it's not.
Yeah.
What's your comp for this team? I've got one. What's your historical comp?
I can't think of one, and that's the sad part. Like, I can't think of one.
So stay with me. I'm going to explain.
Please tell me. Yeah.
04 Pistons. Plus score.
I can see it. I can see it.
I'm talking about team construction.
I can see it.
Rip Hamilton, Tage. Like, you've got a lot of pieces.
Towns and the Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, Towns and guess what? Yeah. And the Chauncey Billups that might just gut you when it counts.
That's actually a really good one. That's actually a really, really good one.
That's the comp I've been sitting with the last 2 days. This is the super. And guess what? Those blowouts, I mean, I don't mean in actuality, because I loved that era. I was a senior in high school. That shit meant a lot to me. I made a lot of money when the Pistons beat the Lakers, actually.
Yeah. Back when Lakers fans were extremely stupid.
Oh, your money was green though. I won a lot of money that day, but like, what if they could blow? What if they could score? Like, watching that team play basketball was like watching a rock fight. It was like, man, first one to 90, I guess. Just please stop playing basketball.
90,
my eyes.
90,
first
75.
One to 83. First 75. One to 83.
First one to 75.
What if those games were watchable? Then you get the Knicks. Like, honestly, like, I really wish it wasn't that way, but that's where it kind of fits for me historically. I want to roll forward to the future now. We'll start with the team that's got to kind of build back here. Vic saying very anime supervillain things. This is the greatest point of my life. I'll see you guys never. I tried to warn y'all.
You were rooting for this shit. Let's not forget that.
I told you, it was rooting. Like dark D-Palm was like, you know what would be real funny? If he came back here like rooting. Duo Maxwell and was like, this is the Gundam Death Scythe hell. Oh, wait, you guys call it the Spurs. Nah, not that. And so, like, I think that you guys – and then the media trying to, like, vilify him, great decision. Brava. I feel like Morgan Freeman in that second Batman. Your plan is to blackmail this person. Your plan is to enrage this person, a person who is shown to be a bit more immature than we thought and willing to extract violence upon people to the point where, like, a subplot of the Knicks title was people counting flagrant points. We're talking about the future of the Spurs, and we're talking about Knicks. I'm not going to get into my Knicks hater game. That bag's it's depleted the last couple weeks. How the fuck ever. If part of your strategy is counting flagrant points, we're losing recipes now.
From the Knicks fans of all people, too, by the way.
That's some big look, man. That's some soft, that's some sad state of affairs type shit. Have some pride about you, goddammit. That should have been a flagrant. You're cheering. I'd rather beat him at 20% strength, you coward. Tighten up. So, New York. We talk about the future of the league. We talk about, like, these teams got the pathway. The one thing you haven't heard, even as they emerged as the favorite, was here comes the New York dynasty. Do you think that's a feasible thing for this group?
I think you made, like, when you gave me the Pistons comp, it made all the sense in the world to me, because you can tell me that they might be the favorites next year, but that run was what, 3 years, 4 years tops? Now, granted, one ring, 2 finals appearances, and after that, you got stunted on by the next star. Like, that's like to call them.
See, I hadn't teased it out that far, but now I see where you're at.
Like, we could call them theoretically the Jey Uso of the NBA. Like, they're the Jey Uso. Yeet. But I mean, like, they might be the favorite next year, but at the same time, how good do you feel about it?
For those of you who had friends in high school and don't speak professional wrestling, that was a mean thing that Nata said. I think it's interesting looking in New York, and you look at some and just say, like what would you do? Like, we're going to talk in a second about some of the moves that have been rumored. A lot of teams are choosing to build to address the Spurs and Thunder of it all. What would you build to stop this? Like, how do you stop a man who's just like, what's your power? Oh, I can't be stopped in the fourth quarter. What do you mean? What do I mean? I can't. It's that Akari mutant who couldn't do her power was she couldn't lose. Like, this is, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I don't tell you. My power is I don't miss in the fourth quarter.
You just have to build big wings, and have multiple of them that chase him around in the fourth quarter and wear him down for the first 3 so that he's got nothing left for the fourth. Like, Father Time is going to have to win that battle, not necessarily you. And even then, like you may have one more year of this. You might have two more years.
And that's the point I wanted to make. It could happen fast. Like small guards, when they lose it, it's not like he lost a step. No, it's off a fucking cliff. It's Allen Iverson in a Nuggets uniform. It is the moment it's a wrap, everyone knows it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the
also they were abnormally healthy too, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Very healthy season for them. San Antonio wise, what do you see them doing kind of to address the De'Aaron Fox of it all?
Can we start with I don't see them trading him?
Who wants that contract?
Well, that and like I think we forget that he had a really messed up ankle.
His ankle wasn't making decisions.
His ankle wasn't making any decisions, but he clearly was trying to overcompensate.
Like that's fine, but like you can do the soft transition from him to Dylan for the next season, but this can't be.
They're going to have to.
He can't start in the playoffs for you, barring injury. He cannot be your starter.
He cannot be your starter, but I think you're going to have to massage that really, really nicely.
That's fine because he'd be a hell of a 6-man
for $62 million off your bench. That is you know the money politics all is. How again wrangling that is going to be the hardest part of Mitch Johnson's job next year.
It's not Mitch.
And that's with
it's not Mitch's job. This is basketball. This ain't football. It's basketball. It's a big fella's job.
Do you really want Vic handling that though?
I'm not saying I'm just telling you what the facts are. If we decide to go that way as a unit, the job to make it okay falls to Big Vic.
That's
that's a juggling act that could cost Miss Johnson his job. Like that's where this teased out goes to, is that like I'm of the belief that Miss Johnson's job is on this line next season.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. Like the bigger issue that I have with the Spurs right now is think about that series. How many easy shots did he create ever in that offense during these playoffs? Very few. There aren't that many easy shots, and he's going to have to refine the offense to get them easy buckets. And some of that may be having to give people a lot more on their plates early in the season. They're going to suffer early losses, but at the same time, it's going to have to be about getting them ready for April and May and June. And that offense has to get vastly better. It has to.
This is a team that's regular season could look very different next year because their focus has to change. The planning for June starts now.
Yeah, like there is a part of me that if I'm Mitch Johnson, I'm going to be kind of ruthless in terms of shifting around my bench. Like
you don't have a choice.
Like you have to get guys that know how to call offense, help me get an offense that makes it easy for everybody. Because the defense is fine. Get them some easy buckets that aren't in transition that you can get in the half court, and they're going to be just fine. They're going to be even deadlier. Vic is going to work on his stuff. He's going to get his pet move. I'm not worried about that. The thing I'm worried about is that Stephon Castle can't get an easy bucket. Dylan Harper can't necessarily get an easy bucket.
It's all the hard ones. Dylan Harper gets all the hard ones.
All the hard buckets. And you can see that it wore him down in game 5. Had a layup that he smoked because he was absolutely exhausted. Like there are not enough easy buckets in that offense. Until they get enough easy buckets, like again, it's like you said, Mitch Johnson, his job is sneakily on the line. And
even as I say it, I wonder because like something that I think was a Dominic Foxworth show. He mentioned we need to allow coaches to grow too, because Mike Brown's the example of that. Mike Brown winning this title is an example of him growing as a coach. However, I agree with you. What you're about to say is that window for Wemby. We don't know what windows look like in this new paradigm of the NBA. They may be 1-year windows. They may be off and on. We don't know, but you want to make sure you maximize this opportunity. And I don't feel like the coaching did that in this series.
Do we remember how fast the window shut on Mike Brown when he coached LeBron? That was what, 3-4 years? Maybe, I think.
But that's also a different structural.
It was different structurally, but at the same
than than the Spurs. So I'm just the Spurs being an outlier in this case on how they do handle maturation and growth. So I'm with you. I 100% agree. Let's talk about some other NBA stuff before we move on.
Yeah.
Giannis to Miami, the rumors are heating up. How do you feel about that?
If Giannis wants to go to Miami, he's not serious about winning. I'm sorry. Like him and Bam can go and be there, and maybe they get Asia to do some part-time work playing for the Heat or something like that. But like, it's not a serious thing. Like, he's not serious about winning. He's about retiring to Miami after living harsh.
Where would you want us? Where indicates a winning location for Giannis? Curiosity's sake.
Boston and Boston only.
Boston doesn't want him.
I
don't say that because I know anything. I say that because I watched like 3 Boston columnists, including Bill Simmons, all shit on the idea over the weekend, which they're not allowed to do unless they got the green light from Boston, from the Celtics front office.
That's fair.
Spoilers.
That's fair. But if Boston's not it, then if it's Miami, then yikes.
Dude, look, man, that's an infrastructure. Like, if we talk about like stability of a franchise, like I understand that having appeal. It worked for LeBron.
Yeah, but it worked for LeBron when they had competent minds around them, especially in the front office. Like, when you acquire Giannis, what else are you going to do? Especially in a 2-apron system where you really can't acquire talent, especially when you're in that second apron. I also feel horrifically bad if the Milwaukee Bucks have to take the poo-poo platter of Tyler Hero, the 13th pick in the draft, and a whole bunch of just flotsam and jetsam in an era where you can't be bad.
Probably should have sold higher.
Probably.
That's a lesson for everyone. Tiago Splitter's been signed by the Bulls to be their new head coach. I'm going to lay out for you on this one because this is an owner who just won a Stanley Cup, by the way.
Tom Dundon is going to learn a lot of hard lessons in the next 5 years. And hopefully Portland, the Blazers fans, who are a ridiculously loyal fan base, stick with him to enough of a point where they don't get talked into moving. That is my only concern, because Tom Dundon's about to fuck this up royally.
Yeah. Tiago Splitter did a great job under the circumstances of the head coach was indicted in a federal gambling scheme. He made the playoffs with this roster that no one thought they could do it, and he got lowballed to the point where now he's going to coach the Chicago Bulls. So good job for ownership. Speaking of ownership, someone made a call about something because Brendan Sorsby is no longer the NCAA's problem. As of this recording at 9:30 on Monday evening, Brendan Sorsby has been entered into the supplemental draft, which means that he'll be available for selection this spring. Nata, I'm still gathering some thoughts on this. Where does this land for you? Because invariably, someone in the NFL has said we're willing to take a kid who got kicked out of college for gambling. On his own team. I want to make sure that is super clear. On his own team.
So the first thought I have is this has Cleveland Browns written all over it, right?
Very much so.
Like, this is the
I have another team.
Minnesota?
Mm-mm.
Who else?
Steelers.
Who else? Man, look. If the Steelers did that, it makes sense. It does make sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. But if the Steelers did that, how happy is Mike Tomlin that he's getting NBC checks?
Mike Tomlin's happy because he's not to listen to Aaron every day.
And now he doesn't have to deal with
I bet he changed his cell number so Aaron can stop calling his ass. Leave me alone.
Like, my whole thing about Storsby, and I think we talked about this before, is how can you let that dude into a locker room knowing that he leaks everything?
You can't.
You can't. And you're telling me that NFL teams are going to give up a first or second round pick for this guy?
Someone told him they would.
I hope he got good at information, because that does not sound like the information that I would be going off of. because that guy
Weird.
is radioactive. That guy to me should be completely radioactive. And if he's not radioactive, like you don't, again, you know what it is? He is like inviting again, he is the entire plot of Sinners. You are inviting a vampire into your juke joint to fuck shit up.
So it's definitely going to be the Browns. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Browns.
Browns.
But again, it's the plot of Sinners. That's where we're at with this. Inviting Sorsby in is a plan to basically have your entire shit indicted. Good luck. Good luck to whomever drafts him, because I would not touch that kid with a 10-foot pole until he did some hardcore rehab. Like, he'd have to be in rehab for like a year for me to even think about touching him.
So about a little less than a year, a couple months ago, Angel Reese told us that everyone in Chicago was messy, that they weren't serious about winning, that this, that, and the third. And they called her everything but a child of God. Sent her out of there for the poo-poo platter down to Atlanta. Now she's putting up 17 boards and 17 points in the same games. She's still evolving as a scorer, but she is locking down double-doubles like you wouldn't believe. Is Angel Reese a prophet, or Chicago just dumber than we all thought they were?
Yes.
All right, this is a short topic.
Yes. Like, again, they let James Wade, think about what they allowed James Wade to do. They let that man trade first round pick, and first round pick, and then he left to go to Toronto. That's how bad this got. So you're telling me that franchise was supposed to get better? Like, they're a team that I do wonder if, like, they end up moving because the ownership is just that bad and they're going to nuke the relationship between the W and that city. I do wonder if that's coming.
So now you've entered into tinfoil hat territory. Welcome. Thank you. Is it on purpose? Bottom out the asset before you sell it, before you strip it for parts and sell it?
I would, if it was on purpose, I feel like it would be better. They would be a little bit better.
They shipped out Angel Reese like that one. I'm over here like, this feels like self-sabotage, man. Like, she's not only bringing you like actual like on the court success because of her talent overcoming your ineptitude, but she's also a boon for the city. She's a boon for the league's presence in your city. And you're like, I don't want that spotlight on us. Let's get her out of here. And now it's like, hey, the players you brought in are saying the same shit. Like, it's not like Angel Reese was an outlier in all this. It's like everyone who's around your organization points to it and says, nah, this shit ain't right. And at a certain point, someone calls you a jackass, they're wrong. Two people call you a jackass, they're all wrong. If everyone calls you a jackass, maybe start looking for hooves. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you might just be a jackass.
I don't disagree, but at the same point, we're talking about, like, I understand dealing Angel Reese before time because at some point she's going to get frustrated and then she's going to make that a bigger deal. It's
I see.
It's one thing if Angel Reese says it. It's another thing if some of the current players on the Sun say it. And like, that's the thing. Like, it's a different level of publicity. It's a little easier to take.
But they're saying it now.
They are, but how many people are really paying attention to it?
Because
that's
wild.
Yeah.
That tells you the Q rating of Angel Reese, though. Like, that's a big
it does.
testament to how much power she's got just by being in the room.
But again, think about that. We're talking about one of the biggest media brands in the W. If she says it, that's one thing. You're talking, again, there's different levels. It's like I don't know how to put, like, it'd be one thing if prior to, like, it's one thing if LeBron James says your shit is fucked up. It's a whole different thing if Jalen Brunson pre-finals win, again, pre-NBA champion, Jalen Brunson says your shit is fucked up. It's a whole different thing. So I get it from one aspect in like a PR management thing.
Olivia Miles watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the MVP.
Olivia Miles watch. If you don't know, no, come on. She is the rookie of the year. Let's not get over our skis. But
not entirely.
She is the highlights I look up every time they play.
Yeah. And I think their best player, the runner-up for MVP, has not come back and played a game yet.
She was supposed to like get her feet, not keep them afloat, not like lead them to a pretty good record. Like this is wild for a rookie. And this, like the leap from NBA, like college, high level college to the pros is a big leap. The leap for these women to the W, like guys, like I need y'all to really watch these young women play because like they don't age out anymore because they got better health and taking care of themselves. And like to make the roster, you had to beat out somebody who's fighting for a livelihood. And I know people like make that statement about a lot of sports. It's never truer than the W, which is why they continue to expand. Olivia Miles is a special dog.
Like to expound upon your point, it's like if I don't make this roster, I have to go to Europe, and not necessarily
or start
like,
coaching. Or start coaching.
Yeah. Like it's either I do that or I start coaching, or like my career might be over if this rookie beats me out. That's what, and that's the crazy part to this, because it's like she is so offensively creative and offensively gifted. She is the one, like she might be the one player I might say like we overthought the hell out of coming into this draft.
Yes, I agree with that.
And like we talked about Jalen Brunson and everything else like that, and people overthinking it with Brunson. Olivia Miles is in that same category, just a whole shit ton better.
I don't think we ever thought it was Brunson. I think Brunson his top end was higher than anyone could have thought. Probably even him, honestly. I'm sure it surprised himself a little bit. Is there any World Cup happening in your life? Are you a World Cupper?
I watch it on occasion.
Okay.
I was at my wife and my daughter were at a World Cup hot party. They put some of the jingoism uniforms on. I'll show you the pic. I got to send you the picture anyway. She looked cute.
Please.
That's the most I've like partaken. I watch it every now and again when I'm cutting videos. That's about it.
I've yet to dip my toe in. It just feels weird doing it here. It feels weird doing it like, hey, invite the world in, not you or you brown people, but everybody else, y'all are cool. Like it feels weird. I didn't partake in the Nazi 250 whatever on Sunday either. Just something weird. I will say this, and maybe it's a psyop, maybe it's the CIA, and maybe they got me. This German man interacting with the SEC.
Yes.
Has been the most heartwarming shit I've encountered. And I subscribe to a Reddit called Made Me Smile. This truly has made me smile. Now to tell me you've seen this, I hope.
Yes, I have. Dude, have you, let me put it this way. Have you seen the Germans that have apparently discovered Houston clubs?
I need to catch up, apparently.
Dog.
Oh, well, that's because they left Atlanta and everyone's like, you didn't go to Magic City. They were like, we're supposed to go to strip clubs. And then they got to Houston, like, and James Harden appeared out of nowhere. And we're like, I got you.
Yeah. Like it's like wild. if anything, the World Cup content has shown touch grass, find your community, people. Like
sometimes your community is a bunch of Germans going through the Southeast.
Yeah, sometimes your community is that. Like, make a friend this summer. Make a new friend this summer.
Can we see them in Huntsville?
Oh, I'd love to see that. Shreveport.
Just because Huntsville. Look, no. I'm sorry. You're missing the point of my joke here. They go to Huntsville because it'd be the best German food they ever had in their lives.
That's true.
You know why the German food's so good in Huntsville?
Why?
Operation Paperclip.
Shit, you're right. I forgot about that. I forgot.
I always make Huntsville jokes about Germans, and everyone's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Just
I completely forgot about
German. Yell something in German in downtown Huntsville, so people snap to attention to see what happens."
You're right. I forgot about that. You got me on that, and you got me on top today. Fuck.
I'm a child, but that's my favorite. That's like at one they were like, I think they went to hell in Georgia. Like, we found a small German town in Georgia. It's so quaint. I feel like I'm at home. Like, go a little bit further west, buddy. Go to where they built the rockets.
Yeah. Yes.
Highest number of PhDs per capita in America is in Huntsville. That's not a joke.
No, it's not. I completely forgot.
It's not a joke.
Dog.
Everyone forgets about the tiny hamlet.
There's a reason why
Rocketown, USA.
Yeah. There's a reason all those BMW
but Daniel,
plants.
how do you learn to build these bombs?
Jeez.
Oh, well.
Oh boy.
Oh, that was funny. That was good. Whew. All right. So for those who don't know, please Google Operation Paperclip. For those who know, thanks for indulging our stupidity.
Yes.
Nata, we tell everyone where they can find you and your let's do the outro. Then we'll talk a little pro wrestling because I got some stuff to say. Nata, tell everyone where they can find you and your nonsense before we do the World of Professional Graps.
Just go look on Yahoo Sports. I do a lot of work with the basketball side. So not only are we done with the finals, but we are not done with content yet because the NBA draft is in 10 days. So actually, yes. Now, granted, some of us are going to be working from overseas during that, which means 4 a.m. Working at 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m.
I started to do that math as you said. I was like, wait a second. I know where you're going to be in 10 days. Like, wait a second.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that sounds super annoying.
No, thankfully, I will have not really body clock will not have fully caught up by then. Yeah. So I'll be okay. I'll
also
survive.
Like that'll be early in the morning for you. So you'll do the work and then be able to have your day in front of you.
Exactly.
That's kind of nice. You guys have a great little time. Man, thank you for coming on. I always enjoy having you. I'm excited to do some off-season stuff with you because I don't know if people remember, like a couple years ago, we did the Outcast draft. We did the Outcast brackets. Susan and I did a rewatch of the MCU one year. Like the off seasons where I get to have a little fun. Probably get to play with some of the comic book content I've been wanting to do, is having time. So you guys just stick around. We're gonna be doing sports stuff every filter here every Friday, but we're gonna mix in some people, mix in some topics, and have a little fun in the off season. But I'm excited to get started with it very, 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 very soon. As always, DPalm, follow me on Twitter at Blue Sky, Instagram, all the socials at DPalm66. Follow the show at UDPod. Follow the show on YouTube at UDPod66. That was your show. There's no outro because we're talking about professional wrestling. Nata, I've held strong. I've not engaged with much of the content as of late. I feel like it's them playing in our faces. I feel like I've just gone too far. And I am. How is your current relationship with professional wrestling?
It's funny because I catch it when I catch it. I still watch NXT because NXT is still semi-pure. I enjoy the AAA again, and it's easy to book because it's 1 hour on YouTube. Ain't no stakes. And eventually, when that gets
have we talked since El Grande versus El Grande?
I don't think we have. I don't think we have. Oh, that was a banger.
Oh, buddy. I think what it brings to light is that this is not a promotion that goes for in-ring to tell their story, use everything around the in-ring. Mm-hmm. There's something to be said for telling a satisfying story inside the squared circle, man. There's something to be said for it.
And the funny thing is they brought enough elements from the outside, enough winks and nods to they gave you enough to where if you were paying remote attention to outside of the ring, it became even more fulfilling. They told a story. It's one of those things where you see it already. Give Undertaker the book, let him book. He gets he understands it better than everybody else. This, that, and the third. Not understanding that y'all are doing the same thing that y'all said about Triple H. And y'all don't seem to understand that Triple H has one goal and one goal only, and that is to maximize TKO profits. He might want to do some other stuff. He might want to be creative. He's unfortunately, he's constrained by stuff. That being said, I enjoy the product when I can catch up to it. Unfortunately, because of my job, because I'm a parent, because of this, I don't catch up with as much. And therefore, I'm not as disappointed. I sit down, I turn my brain off, and if I enjoy it, I enjoy it. If I don't, I move on. And that's it doesn't bother me as much as it used to, mainly because I was there during the really bad Vince days, during the ruthless aggression days, and like I was watching then too. Like it's
during
just
the
a habit.
suffer and succotash days.
Exactly. Like this has been worse. Like this is like,
you know what it's gotten me. You know what got me? Them cutting to Triple H and Roman after that piece of shit said that thing about Michelle Obama last time. Oh, in case you were wondering who directly endorses everything you're watching right now, here is Joe Noia and Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
So like that's where it's like, oh yeah, I don't need this that much in my life. I'm good. I'm gonna go find some comic book podcasts to record this summer with my friends. But again, that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for listening. Go New York, go New York, go. God damn, that felt gross. That was your show, the rest of outro. See you guys later this week with Felder.